Welcome. Critical thinking is a foundation skill of problem solving. It's used at every stage from problem definition through to execution. In the last video, we laid out 5 requirements for thinking about the problem critically. The process can be iterative as you work through the requirements. Here is an example, one that any homeowner may relate to: fixing a leaking roof. A 20-year-old flat roof is leaking and the owner engaged roofers to seal the roof. However, 3 days after sealing, there is leaking again inside the house. There is no apparent damage on the surface where the roof has been resealed. An independent roofing engineer is brought in to figure out the problem. He reports back that a water bubble has formed in the bitumen layer below the sealant and above the flat concrete slab in one area, which is leaching through the porous concrete slab. The water bubble was not detected by the roof installers as they sealed over the top. The remedy is to cut away the damaged portion of the substrate, replace and reseal, and drill into the slab from underneath to drain the water. This will cost extra not planned for. There is still a withholding amount owing to the contractor. So this is the information stockpile. What is the single problem question? Here is the reasoning. Given that the leak was not fixed and there appears to be negligence on the part of the contractor, and there are other contractors out there, should the owner fire him and bring in another contractor? In this way, he can use the holdback to fund the remediation. Now we have the question. The next step is to break down the numbers. Working from left to right, the net cost is a saving of $2,000 based on the fact that he can deduct $7,000 withholding from the $5,000 remedial cost. Using the same tree logic, he can evaluate other options, like staying with the existing contractor but negotiating a reduction in the remedial work. Without this quantification step, we don't know what is at stake. Problem solving requires analysis, i.e. breaking down, in addition to reasoning. At this point, it is worthwhile writing the options down and evaluating them, then pausing and letting it sink in before making a decision. In this analysis, we are evaluating cost against risk. It looks like it is best to go for 2 as there is a low net cost, but the risk is lower. What 2 is saying is, let's keep the existing contractor for continuity, but reduce the price to net zero or very low extra cost. But here is one more area to apply critical thinking: the claim of the expert. Even though he is not an expert himself, can the owner test the claims of the consulting engineer? This framework is courtesy of James Randi Educational Foundation, accessible to anyone. Once you have defined the issue and the claim, then dig into the reasons that were provided to support the claim. First, is any part of the claim unsupported? In this case, the area under the seal has not been opened up to confirm extent of the pooling and ingress point. Second, is there any reason why we might hold false beliefs? Well, the expert was recommended by the contractor. Is he truly independent? Finally, take action to shore up confidence in the claim. Thank you. I see your problem solving is improving with each video. Please like, subscribe, and share. See you soon.